Yummy is a Dutch zombie film. Didn't think I would say that, but it is. This is part of Shudder's thing where they present horror films, lesser known from other countries and lesser known ones. So Yummy is the story of Michael and, oh man, I don't even remember their names. Michael and his girlfriend, her name's not even on the back of the DVD cover. Anyways, his girlfriend's got massive breasts and she's going to get breast reduction surgery, and her mom's going for a tummy tuck or something. And you know, people ridicule her all the time because they're like, you want breast reduction surgery? You know, why would you want to do that? So they go to this shady place that's not very up to code, shall we say. It can be done cheaply and well, I guess. But Michael is having second thoughts about his girlfriend, you know, being under the knife with these amateurs when he discovers a woman strapped down to a gurney in another room, and he thinks, you know, she's being held there against her will. But when he takes off the little face guard thing, she's like got something wrong with her. She's definitely not human. She's a zombie, and she bites her way out of her restraints and causes a massive outbreak in the middle of the hospital. And now Michael has to get out with his girlfriend, and as well as an odd assortment of other characters. So first off, let's start with the pros. I really like the gore effects. There's lots of creative kills. The first maybe 30 minutes has some interesting moments because there's a lot of people getting operations and a lot of sharp objects and machines and things like that. So there's some creative kills with an operating room getting invaded by zombies while they're trying to do liposuction on a guy. And there's some creative creature effects, like there's a zombie with no legs that's chasing one of the characters. A lot of good gore effects. I mean, they didn't skimp on the budget. It looks like legit. However, that's where the pros end, honestly. This movie is all over the place. First off, there's very little character development, and the beginning of the movie is kind of slow because they're trying to like do the time waster stuff. And as soon as the outbreak happens, the movie adopts this sort of awkward, trying to be funny thing, and it just doesn't work. It's the equivalent of like me being scared at seeing a zombie and going, oh my God, a zombie. And then I slip on some blood, and then, you know, I'm crawling away from this thing that's trying to get me, and I try to grab a scalpel, but I knock them all onto my hand, and all these knives fall into my hand, and I'm like, oh, my hand. And then it tries to bite my face, and I'm like, you know, it's kind of like that. There's like 3 or 4 moments in the film where they try to do that, and it makes the characters look like complete utter dumbasses because they're trying to make you laugh so hard, but it's like throwing a slapstick routine in the middle of a zombie movie, and it just doesn't work. And there is one dark humor moment that's very funny that happens near the end, but the movie, you know, stumbles more than it succeeds. There are some interesting characters and their motivations, and they're trying to, like, you know, maneuver things by the end of the movie. But overall, the movie's tone is really weird, and it's very short, thankfully. But overall, it's a very... I mean, I was entertained for the most part. There are some creative zombie moments, but overall, characters just act like total... absolute idiots for the whole movie, you know, and they're not, it's not because they're written that way, it's the equivalent of like, oh, I'm going to, you know, save my girlfriend with this axe, and then I trip and fall and land on my face in the middle of a fight scene. It's like that. I mean, you can't do that too many times. And so Yummy is an interesting film. I mean, it's nice to see that other countries are trying to do their own thing. I mean, we've had a few solid zombie movies from South Korea, and probably a few others that I'm forgetting. Like, I think France did one a while ago. But yeah, Yummy is definitely not the new cream of the crop. It's a zombie movie. That's the reason why I watched it, but it's not a very good one, even though it has a pretty decent gore effect. So I'll give Yummy a 3 out of 10.